Okay, so we're diving into the Roman Empire today.
Right.
You guys gave us like a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like books and timelines and like even some research papers.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to know what's really cool about Rome, right? Like what actually matters.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to go beyond the like togas and gladiators.
Right.
And look at how the Roman Empire is still shaping our world today.
You'd be surprised.
Basically.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much is still relevant from a civilization that, existed centuries ago.
Yeah, okay, so like I was flipping through all this stuff you sent,
Yeah.
and one thing that really blew my mind
Okay.
was just how long the Roman Empire actually lasted.
Right.
We always hear about the fall of Rome in 476 CE,
Mm-hmm.
but that's only half the story.
Yeah, it's only talking about the Western Roman Empire.
Right.
The Eastern Roman Empire, which was also called the Byzantine Empire, continued on for like another 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Yeah, it finally fell in 1453.
That's insane.
Yeah, so think about it. That's a period of time like longer than many modern nations have even existed.
So what was their secret? How did they manage to like adapt and survive for so long?
Well, I mean, they were dealing with a lot,
They're bad?
invasions, internal conflicts, the rise of Islam, but they were really resilient.
They just kept going.
Yeah, they were good at incorporating parts of other cultures
Oh, interesting.
and changing their military strategies and even like evolving their political systems to work with the times.
So it wasn't just about like brute force.
Oh.
They were smart about it.
They were flexible and strategic.
Gotcha. So like adaptability was key.
Exactly. And I think that's a big takeaway for us today.
Yeah.
The world's always changing. If you can't adapt, you're not going to survive.
It's true for people and businesses.
Absolutely. It's true for everyone.
Okay, so let's back up for a sec.
Sure.
How did this whole Roman Empire thing even start?
Well, it definitely wasn't built in a day.
No, I imagine not.
It took centuries to grow from a small city-state to a republic.
Yeah.
And eventually to, this massive empire that spanned, most of Europe.
Wild.
But its roots are in the Roman Republic.
Okay.
Which was this system of government with elected officials.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and a Senate.
Senators' togas, all that?
Yeah, exactly. But then things changed a lot in 27 BCE
Oh, yeah.
when Augustus became the first emperor.
So that's a pretty big turning point, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Augustus's rise marks the start of the Roman Empire as like we think of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then another major shift happened in 285 CE
Okay.
when Emperor Diocletian decided to split the empire in two.
Oh, wow.
He thought it'd be easier to manage.
Well, that makes sense.
But it actually caused a ton of new problems.
Yeah, like if you try to slice a pizza and it's too big, you just end up with a mess.
That's a great analogy.
So how did this like division affect the empire?
Well, it definitely played a role in the fall of the Western Roman Empire.
Really?
The division just revealed all these weaknesses and made it harder to defend against attacks.
Oh, I see.
And some historians think it even sped up the decline.
Interesting. So even decisions that seem practical
Right.
can totally backfire.
Yeah, history is full of surprises.
Okay, so the Western Empire falls, but they left behind a huge legacy.
Absolutely.
Like, let's talk about how they shaped the world we live in.
Okay.
One thing that stands out to me is their legal system.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't all about gladiators and conquering.
Hey.
They actually laid the foundation for modern law.
Yeah, like a lot of our legal principles and procedures came from the Romans.
Really?
Yeah, like innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, wow.
That idea came from Roman law, and they had these sophisticated systems of codified law, legal precedent, and court procedures.
And we still use that stuff today.
Exactly. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's like their ideas are still with us all these centuries later.
Hmm.
And it's not just law. Have you seen those aqueducts?
Yeah, they're amazing.
They were bringing fresh water into cities from miles away,
I know. It's incredible.
using gravity in these crazy structures.
Mm-hmm.
And don't even get me started on the Colosseum.
Oh, yeah. The Colosseum is an incredible feat of engineering and architecture.
You're nuts.
Yeah, with all the arches and vaults and ramps. It was revolutionary for its time.
I bet even today, engineers and architects are like studying it.
Yeah, they want to understand how the Romans built it to be so strong and impressive.
It's mind-blowing to think what they did with the technology they had.
Totally.
And speaking of things that are still around today,
Yeah.
let's not forget about Latin.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's the root of so many languages.
Like English.
Exactly. Like, how many words do we use that come from Latin?
A lot. It's everywhere.
It's true. Like, video, aquatic,
Uh,
extraordinary.
wow.
Latin is, like, woven into our Language.
Yeah, it reminds us how connected cultures and languages really are.
It really
It's like
does.
this thread connecting us back to the Romans.
Okay, before we finish up,
Sure.
I want to mention something kind of important.
Okay.
We tend to think of Romans as like this one big culture,
Right.
but they were actually really diverse.
Yeah, with all sorts of beliefs and practices.
Exactly, like the spread of Christianity in the Roman Empire had a huge impact.
Absolutely.
Like it challenged their traditional beliefs.
Yeah, it caused social and political upheaval.
Really?
Yeah, and it helped to shape both Western and Eastern Roman civilization.
So even the most powerful empires can change.
Right. They're always evolving because of stuff happening inside and outside the empire.
That's a good point.
Mm.
So what does all this Roman stuff mean for us today?
Well, I think the Roman Empire teaches us a lot about power
Hmm.
and how important it is to adapt,
Yeah,
and also about how much ideas and innovations can last.
it's true.
Their story is a warning about getting too cocky and overreaching.
Yeah, you can't get too big for your britches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it also shows how clever and tough humans can be.
Okay, so history isn't just about dates and names.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the things that shape our world,
And learning from the past.
both the good and the bad.
Absolutely.
So as you keep learning about the Roman Empire, I want you to think about this. We know the Byzantine Empire lasted a really long time after the West fell. So what do you think helped them survive for so long?
It's a good question.
And what can we learn from their successes and failures?
Yeah, think about that.
This deep dive was really just the beginning.
We just scratched the surface.
There's a ton more to explore.
Definitely go check it out.
All right, see you next time.